Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. I am Everardo Recendiz, known around here as Coach Ever. I am a certified executive and business coach with Action Coach in Northwest Louisiana. Today, I have Matthew Haynes, one of the owners of To Exceed, as my guest. Today, we're going to be talking about the business, the journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek into what it really is like to own and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop conversations just like this one. And so, without further ado, Matthew, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Coach Ever. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you very much. Will you start with us a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about To Exceed?
Well, I went to college for English literature. Well, I started off in computer science, then went to aviation, and then English literature. So I traveled around a little bit. I also did some world traveling for a while. I visited several places in Europe. Got back and started off working for an apartment management company, and then I moved into the tech sector where we started off doing computer repairs and phone repairs. And then I moved over into the big world, the tech world of GDIT, where I started off as a help desk, and then I moved up into
What
management
is
and
what is GDAT? IT,
General
Matthew?
Dynamics.
Okay,
Yeah, I worked for General Dynamics, specifically serving the VA contract. So we would basically help doctors and administrators with computer issues,
gotcha.
online, that sort of thing. And then I kind of moved into I managed a team doing what I used to do, and then moved over into transition. So worked for a little while on contract management, transitioning in new contracts and setting those up and everything like that. And then To Exceed offered me a position. I had some background in logistics. They offered me a position as operations director for their company to sort of clean up processes and set things into place to create more efficiencies, that sort of thing. That started right around the time that COVID began. So I jumped into that space at a very strange time, and kind of got to know the trucking industry during a very hard time for the trucking industry. And through a lot of trial and effort and blood, sweat, and tears, we managed to pull through COVID relatively intact. And the original founder of the company has decided he wanted to retire, and so I came in as a partner to sort of replace him when he fully transitions out. And that's kind of where we are currently. It is a partnership with myself and the other original partner, Robert. And essentially, we serve the trucking industry exclusively in trying to market for to help them acquire new drivers. Most trucking
So
companies.
this is a recruitment tool.
Yes. We cater specifically to the trucking industry just for recruitment purposes.
Very cool. And so, set the stage for the viewers and the listeners. So, besides you and Robert, there are no other partners in here. The company is private. You don't have
Yeah.
any public
No,
investment in here.
no public investment. It's just us.
And what is your role in this business today?
I still do most of the operations, do a lot of the day-to-day management of our team, and work to set up new products, new digital products that we can offer our clients, existing as well as new clients, and handle things like our sales processes and trying to set that up. The previous owner handled a lot of the sales himself. Now that he is retiring, we're trying to set up a proper sales department, and that's kind of been my focus here lately.
Very good. So let me ask you this,
Sure.
Matthew. Um, so this is a niche type of work, right?
Yeah.
You focus on a specific industry. Um, The first question that comes to mind is how prevalent is it that people need?
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. I didn't catch that.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Um, how prevalent is it that they need a good management of their, recruitment efforts?
Yeah, it's very prevalent and it's very needed. Most trucking companies, the trucking industry is really hard, man. Especially over the last 3 or 4 years. Post-COVID, things have been difficult. There's been a lot of supply issues and getting cargo from one place to the other. It's a logistical nightmare for sure. And so most people who work in the trucking space, they're busy doing their jobs, whether it's coordinating drivers, trying to train drivers, handling insurance, trying to broker deals, all of that stuff. Most of them aren't going, and the demographic tends to skew a little bit older. So a lot of them are, a lot of the people in the trucking industry don't know their way around intimately on social media and certain other digital platforms. This is an industry that largely still employs things like magazines and physical media and stuff like that. So on top of that, though, they're all so busy with their day-to-day job that trying to market for the specific niche, it's hard to find the time to invest in good quality marketing, which is kind of where we come in. So, on top of that, there is a huge demand. The trucking or the turnover rate in the trucking industry for drivers is anywhere between 85 to 100%, meaning that a driver that you get a year from now likely won't be there anymore.
Wow.
So there is a constant need to bring in new drivers and train them.
Very good. And so, given that your audience, your target audience is these trucking companies,
Mhm.
um, let's talk a little bit about what makes you special, right? So, what makes your business unique? Why do your customers choose to work with you?
Yeah, so we're in a really interesting position. Uh, there aren't a whole lot of advertisers out there that do specifically what we do. You can reach out to an advertiser that does general advertising, and they might be able to help, but they don't know the markets as well as we do, since we live primarily in this space and we work in this space all the time. Um, for anyone who has a specialization in truck driving recruiting advertising, most of them in the past 4 years have gone out of business, or they've been big enough where they've been able to survive. We're one of the few very small companies. The interesting thing is that most of our competitors are so big that it's harder for smaller trucking companies to get the kind of service that they normally would because they just don't have the big enough of budgets. Um, so we generally try to target and try to serve those small to medium-sized trucking companies, somewhere between 100 and 6 or 700 trucks, excuse me, in hopes of providing the level of care and the level of communication that we currently can, because we because we don't have any of these trucking companies with thousands upon thousands of trucks, um, and we deal with these smaller budgets. Um, we're able to, yeah, as I said, just provide a certain level of service for those with a smaller budget.
Very good. Very good. And so, what is one thing that you wish more people knew about to exceed?
I I would think that it's probably going to be the attention to detail that we put into things. So we have incredibly robust reporting, and reporting is quite possibly one of the most important things that we do. So if someone hands you a basket of money and says, "Hey, get us some drivers," and we throw that money at a bunch of different platforms, if we don't have any way of measuring the effectiveness of those platforms, well, we have no way of necessarily showing you whether what you're giving us is a good investment or not. And so we take constant care and attention into trying to refine our reporting as much as possible. So if someone calls a recruiter at the trucking company, we know what that call is going to end up costing that company. But not only, so we have this standardized reporting that's pretty robust, but not only that, we also, across most of our clients, provide custom reporting. So a lot of clients have different ways of recruiting than other clients. And so we can work with them to provide custom reporting that we can provide daily, weekly, maybe once a month, that meets their specific needs. That isn't necessarily just what we provide on a standard.
Love it. Love it. Well, that
Yeah,
leads me to marketing, which is something vital for every business out there. And it
sure.
is often an area that business people struggle with. And so I'm always curious about what successful businesses are doing, right?
Mm.
How do you go about promoting what you do to your target audience? And, is there a budget or are there strategies that you utilize for that? What works for you?
Well, so we are a small business and we are pretty limited as far as how many people we have working here. So, as with most companies, we also, despite being a marketing company, we struggle a little bit with our with marketing. That seems like an oxymoron, but we specialize in trucking advertising and marketing. So we aren't as familiar with advertising and marketing to other trucking companies. So we've had to it's been a little bit of a painful process to sort of learn how to advertise and market outside of our specialization. So here's a great example. So, if you're going to market to a driver, you're going to market to them through Facebook, Google, even Craigslist is still a good platform to use. But if you're going to be advertising or marketing to a trucking company, LinkedIn is going to be probably more effective. A truck driver is not going to have a LinkedIn profile more than likely, but a trucking company, the head of driver recruiting or the head of marketing for a trucking company is going to have a LinkedIn profile. So being more active on LinkedIn has is proving to be a good strategy, as well as marketing on social media. We're also uh, utilizing tools that allow us to see companies out there who have actually searched for driver recruiting activity and other um, intentional search results and in order to try to get an idea of which companies out there are intentionally looking for what we have to offer. So doing things like that outside of our normal niche, um, that's proving to show interesting results.
It is certainly one of those things that is difficult again.
Yeah.
I mean, I will assume that a lot of your customers come from your customers recommending you to other people they know. So
Mhm.
it's that word of mouth still applies, right? But
Word of mouth is pretty big in the trucking company or community. There are still conventions, and a lot of conventions generally tend to be the time where we'll see the largest influx of people who show interest in what we have to offer.
love it, love it. Well, we spent a bunch of time already focused on the business and sharing some of these best practices. But
Yeah.
I'd like to take a step back and dive a little bit more into your journey. All
Okay.
right. And so, you were working for somebody, you came to work for this company. Why do you choose to go into business and own it rather than just keep collecting a paycheck?
Um, I asked myself that question, and I probably still ask myself that question about once every quarter. Why not just continue to collect a paycheck and not have to worry about all the extra hassle and so on and so forth? And I would say the short answer is that I believe in what we do enough to invest more than um, a simple set amount of time and then just walk away with a paycheck. The trucking space is incredibly important. And while it's looking to change in the next decade or two, that's not happening anytime soon. And we have a incredible shortage of drivers. And trying to get everyone the things they need to continue with their life, uh, that is an essential space. And I wouldn't have thought this before coming to work here, but we do provide an essential service in a way. And I don't see that necessarily going anywhere immediately. I see a need for it. And it allows me to exercise the organizational skills that I've acquired over the past few years. So, all that said, I want I wanted to invest in the company more than just spend my time working for the company.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. And so, as you look at your journey so far, what has been the most memorable roadblock or hurdle that you were challenged with that you were forced to overcome?
Man, the post-COVID slump. So back in 2022, the trucking industry hit a real roadblock. Supply just dropped, and companies weren't hiring. Trucking companies weren't hiring new drivers. They weren't buying new trucks. Part of that had to do with the manufacturing had stopped during COVID.
Right.
Um, so we saw a lot of smaller advertising companies in this space completely fold. And I was very proud this past. There's every year they have the Mid America Truck Show, and I was very proud to find that there were a lot of people in the space that we talked to who were impressed that we actually managed to actually grow a little bit during this time period. I was very proud of that because my team is really good at what they do, and they that has allowed me to go out on a limb and try new things. And in trying some of those new things, we've managed to find one or two new products for our clients to invest some of their budget in, and it's allowed us to grow our products so that even if we lost a client or two, we managed to stay flat or even increase our overall revenue. I've got to say that's probably one of the biggest things that I'm proud of for the past over the past couple of years. Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, it truly is out of necessity and pain and difficulty,
Yeah.
something comes out of the other end that tends to be interesting and sweet.
Yeah, and I get a
So,
great story out of it too. I just get chills, whenever I think about it.
well, let's fast forward now and see. Let's look at what comes next.
Yeah.
So, where do you see this business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, my partner has a dream, and I could see it happening. Well, we don't want to necessarily stay in just the trucking advertising space. Um, we like the trucking recruiting space, and we would like to go a few different directions. So, one of the things that I forgot to mention that we do that sort of sets us apart, I feel, is that we look at the recruiting advertising space as sort of like a first step, probably our biggest step, but it's definitely our first, and but are not our only. So one of the things we look at is the fact that a lot of the cost per hire gets tied up in the recruiters, the people that the drivers talk to, that we find the drivers, we send them to the recruiters talk to them, have that conversation, and try to convince them to come work for them. Um, There is definitely a lot of area where the recruiting processes can be improved. Recruiting training could be probably improved on. And so we are working with some trucking companies to improve those different things in order to also bolster our own product. So what I would love to see within the next few years is for us to continue to develop that recruiter training as well as implementing things like AI for after hours phone calls when a recruiter may not necessarily be around, but also to possibly provide a service that we can give to a client where instead of us implementing the and running the budgets, we can actually run the software, which could possibly help the client build their own media plan month to month based off of past performance in a way that would allow them to um, uh, it would sort of run and improve their advertisements based off of results so that they could continue to run their advertisement in-house with us just providing some sort of support. That is one thing that we've sort of kicked around that we would like to see sort of developing software that would complement what we do. Um, Basically just expanding beyond just the advertisement aspect and improving the recruiting aspect in a few different ways.
So a little bit more consulting kind of sprinkled in
Yes.
between there. That's
Yes.
awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. And so, we have certainly covered a lot of ground in this conversation today. And for those people who are watching, I highly encourage you to watch these, to save it, and to come back and watch it a few times because there's a lot of good nuggets in here. And so, as we begin to wrap up, Matt, I have a few rapid fire questions. Okay. So,
Okay.
quick top of it answers for each. What is the key to success for you?
The key to success would be for me, don't procrastinate, uh, and delegate. Those are the two things that I've really been trying to learn this year.
All right. So, what will be one piece of advice that you will have for other business people out there?
Well, besides those two, I would say uh, get a reasonable amount of sleep. Don't burn the candle at both ends. I've got to say that is probably one of the biggest changes in my life personally that has really reflected well in running the business.
Love it.
Yeah.
So, I always ask this question because, most people in business read a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, what is one book that you're reading now that's related to business or that you have read that you think everybody in business should read?
I just started one that really attracted me because I do a lot of different things besides just working for to exceed. This one really attracted me that I've started reading. It seems really interesting. It's deep work, rules for focused success in a distracted world. Um, I wear a lot of different hats, and so I'm trying to learn how to when I'm doing something specific to just be in that one thing so that I'm not so that I can actually dedicate my time to that one thing so it can be done well.
Outstanding. So, if you had to choose only one area of your business that you could improve tomorrow, like magic one type, right? What will it be? What will you improve?
Mm. If I could improve one thing, I would say it again goes back to our it would go back to our reporting. We could always use better reporting. And so if I could improve one thing, it would be to have a better relationship with the ATS platforms, which are the trucking version of CRMs, so that we could get better integrations and so that we could get better higher attribution to be able to tell which source can be attributed better with which hire just so we can be more accurate with our reporting. If I could change that one thing, it would be that.
It sounds like you need a plan for that.
We're working on it. It's a
All right.
struggle. Yeah.
Very good. So before we get into the final question of the day, Matt,
Yeah.
how can people learn about you or your company? I mean, if they make contact with you, what will be in it for them?
Yeah, so they can contact me by emailing me at matt@toexceed.com. They can visit our website. We're almost finished with a new one, so come back, either visit it now or definitely come back in a week. But it's toexceed.com. It's TOEXCEED.com. My phone number is always an option. I would love to talk to anyone who wants to know more about the advertising space, especially in trucking. It's 318-550-6603. Yeah, I pretty much will answer the phone just about any time of day. Let's see. What was the rest of your question?
What will be in it for them if they call you?
Yeah. So one of the things that we like to do is offer an assessment to sort of just get an idea of their overall digital health. What do you have a Google My Business? Do you have reviews? How does your website look? Is it SEO optimized? Your social media and so on and so forth. We would love to spend, you know, 15, 20, 30 minutes with you, looking that over. We can provide us questionnaire and generally we try to save the client successfully about 10, 15%. So it doesn't hurt to make a call and have a little conversation, and it could end up being some big savings.
Outstanding.
Yeah,
Well, so one of the things that happens when we're in business is that our source for inspiration often changes, right? Maybe at
sure.
the beginning you just need to make enough money to kind of survive, and so what inspires you is, the need for food on the table. But as you gain success, as some things are settled, that
Mm.
inspiration shifts. And so my question to you is, what is it that you find that is most inspiring for you today?
I would say the team that I work with. We are careful when we bring someone new on. It's usually someone we know or someone who's been recommended by someone we trust. And so we care a lot about our individual team. And we want to see everyone here succeed and do well. They inspire me with the amount that they care about the areas that they sort of preside over, and they inspire me to continue to want to work to continue to make this a better place so that they can continue to make a good living and help us on our mission. Yeah.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, thank you so much, Matthew, for being with us today, for joining us. And thank you to the audience for, watching and sharing. You never know who you might inspire by having them listen to this interview. And so until we see each other again, have a great day.
Thanks, Coach.